of people think milk cotton yarn is different from acrylic yarn. But what if I told you that some milk cotton yarns are 100% acrylic, and that even though two yarns can both be acrylic, they can still behave different completely in crochet clothing? Let's talk about it. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. And if this is your first time coming across my video, my name is Hookpreneur, a crochet designer and a business educator who loves to share tips about everything crochet from both the practical and the scientific perspective. In this video, I'm going to be talking about milk cotton yarn versus acrylic yarn, what they really are, how they behave in crochet clothing, and which one I personally think works better for a wearable crochet piece, especially in Nigeria. So I'm going to be sharing my real experience using acrylic yarn and milk cotton yarn for crochet clothing. Now let's get to it. Before we dig in, we need to know the clear difference between acrylic yarn and milk cotton yarns. Acrylic yarn is a synthetic yarn made from plastic-based fibers, which means it is lightweight, durable, affordable, and easy to find. But because it is synthetic, it does not absorb moisture properly, which makes it tends to trap it easily. That is why some crochet piece feels very hot when worn outdoors. Milk cotton yarn is a soft cotton-like textured yarn made from milk protein fiber, also known as a casein fiber, and cotton. Automatically, the name milk cotton was originated from the composition of the yarn, that is, the milk protein fiber and cotton. So, milk cotton. The goal was to create yarn that feels soft, smooth, and gentle on skin. Compared to acrylic yarn, milk cotton is more denser and structured, but it is heavier and less breathable. Now, this is where a lot of people get confused. A lot of people thinks milk cotton yarn is completely different from acrylic yarn. Over time, many manufacturers started using the name more as a texture and marketing term rather than the actual material definition. That is why most milk cotton yarns in the market have this composition. One, either milk protein fiber plus cotton plus acrylic blends, or even 100% acrylic but soft acrylic yarn. So I have a yarn here which states that it is a milk cotton yarn. It is a milk cotton yarn, but the composition is 100% soft acrylic. I know that some crocheters, when they are getting yarns, they don't actually check the composition. So technically, this yarn is actually 100% acrylic yarn, right? Recently, research has stated that the term milk cotton often states the texture and the softness of the yarn, not necessarily the actual composition or the fiber composition of the yarn. Now, from my own practical experience as someone who crochet clothing regularly, whenever I use a single strand acrylic yarn, to be more specific, Yeye regular or Yeye cone single strand. I think I've made mention of that in one of my videos that I am a big fan of Yeye yarn. So whenever I talk about Yeye yarn, I talk more about Yeye regular and Yeye cone. And whenever I crochet with either of these two, I always use single strand. So whenever I use single strand Yeye to crochet any clothing, it is lighter and slightly more breathable compared to when I use single strand milk cotton, because it is naturally denser than Yeye regular and it feels more warm and on the skin. Yeah, generally we all know that milk cotton, be it 100% soft acrylic, cotton plus acrylic combined, or milk fiber plus cotton, it is usually much denser and tightly spun compared to Yeye. The interesting part is, even though both yarns are acrylic, their structures are completely different. Yeye yarn is usually more loosely spun, which means it has tiny hair spaces inside the yarn, which makes the yarn lighter and more breathable for crochet clothing. But milk cotton acrylic yarn is usually tighter and more compact, which makes it denser, more fiber packed together, has more weight, and less breathable for crochet clothing. Personally, if I am making crochet clothing for hot weather like Nigeria, I would use single strand Yeye regular or Yeye cone over milk cotton acrylic yarn, not because it is perfect, but because it feels lighter, works better for hair flow, and more comfy for long wear. Milk cotton also has its own advantages though. It gives more structure and smoother finish. So I think it works better for bags and probably fitted outfits. At the end of the day, understanding yarn is very important if you crochet clothing, because sometimes the issue is not your crochet skill, it is simply the type of yarn that you are using. So take note, not all acrylic yarn is the same. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please subscribe to my channel because I'll be talking more about yarns, crochet clothing, and the science behind wearable crochet. And let me know in the comments which yarn you prefer using for crochet clothing here in Nigeria. Thanks for watching.